and welcome to another episode of Mighty Movie Pod. My name is Ryan.
I'm Josh.
And we're back. This is episode 45, a momentous occasion here at the Mighty Movie Pod. It's our 45th episode. We're back this week. This is the third week in a row, Josh, that we're coming out with an episode, our weekly episodes.
1, 2, 3.
We did it there for a while, but we're back in the habit, and I'm liking it.
We're trying to get back in the habit. We're doing pretty good. I think we're putting the effort forth.
We are.
We're pleasing the fans. I'm hearing about it on the Twitters.
Yeah, no.
And the emails constantly getting blown up.
Yeah, we're blowing up on social media right now. So
yeah, we're real big.
I'm glad that we're that everybody's enjoying the content. So
Pretty soon, Ryan, we're going to be able to get that guest, Burt Reynolds.
He's really hard to get. But I feel like if we keep up with their schedule, he'll be in the palm of our hand.
He'll be right in the palm of our hand. He'll see that we have an established audience. He'll want to come in, talk about stuff like Smokey and the Bandit,
yeah,
Hooper, Mystery Alaska.
It's, sometimes it's
hopefully striptease.
Yeah, sometimes it's
talk
not
about why he's covered in lotion.
It's not always about getting onto the biggest, most popular podcast. Sometimes going with the smaller ones where you're going to have almost a direct line to your biggest fans. Because our number one demographic on this show is Burt Reynolds fans.
Burt Reynolds fans. Big Deliverance people.
That's what most of our emails are about.
Yeah,
They're Burt Reynolds related.
When are you getting Burt Reynolds, they say?
Every week. We're working on it, guys.
We're getting there. We're going to get Burt Reynolds.
That's the high mark.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. Burt Reynolds on the Mighty Movie Pod.
Burt Reynolds on the Mighty Movie Pod.
So, get ready for that.
I don't know where that came from, but I loved it.
It's not a bit. We're getting Burt Reynolds.
We're getting Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds or bust. Burt or bust is what I say.
Burt or bust.
Burt or bust. That's our motto.
I like that, dude. That's like a t-shirt.
Burt
if we could afford to make merch, we would have a picture of Burt Reynolds' face and Burt or bust done in a tasteful font.
Yeah, go ahead and head over to the yeti.com/mightymoviepod. That's where you can find all of our merch.
Yes.
On the Yeti.
On the Yeti. .co.uk.
Well, it is .co.uk technically.
Yeah.
That's where our largest audience is. And and it makes sense because he's big over there.
Oh, they love Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds is to the UK what David Hasselhoff is to Germany.
It's true. It's true. Did you hear, Ryan?
What?
David Hasselhoff wants to change his name.
I had heard.
Yeah, he wants to go by just the Hoff because the rest of it's too much of a hassle.
Oh, we're bringing our A game today, folks. Strap in.
Buckle up.
So,
it only gets worse from here.
This weekend, I think, I've probably seen the most movies in a 2-day period. The most movies in a 2-day period that I have in my entire life.
And they've all been pretty bad.
Some of them were better than others.
Well, a couple of them were surprising.
Yes.
Yeah, some of them were just kind of like,
So, as some of you may know, but I doubt, there was a 24-hour marathon on the AMC-owned Shudder app, web
streaming service.
Streaming service, there you go. It's a live streaming and on-demand service, and it is god-awful, but...
yeah, it's a terrible, terrible service.
They had a 24-hour marathon bringing back the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Bob Briggs. Yes. Hosted in normal Monster Vision or drive-in theater fashion.
The old TNT show.
Yeah. Apparently he had a big syndicated article that he did back in the day, for the Lampoon. He was on the Daily Show. He goes to all the horror conventions. He's a legend in that thing. And as I've talked about a lot, I've never been in that. People watching those kind of B-movie, what he calls drive-in movie kind of shit. And this was like, I was excited. This was my time to have a chaperone into that world.
Yeah.
And that's why Joe Bob's the shit.
Well, it's you and I have watched a couple MST3K.
Yep.
It's along in the same vein. He blew up. He was big around about the same time I think they were starting to blow up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He was he's a legend in the
Like a
service.
B movie.
I keep wanting to say service.
Yeah. In that community.
Mm-hmm.
And just in just film in general. Mm-hmm. A lot of people know him. He had a couple books. So I was super excited. I remembered him a bit from Monster Vision, the bits I watched when I was like 9.
Yeah.
But not a lot. But obviously, like a lot of other people, he started showing up on the internet more and doing more things, especially leading up to this. He did a lot of interviews with people that I watch. And he was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy, yeah. You think he's just going to end up being just a cool host, but no, the guy is extremely well-versed.
Yeah.
He knows a lot. He's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, and he didn't skip a beat being up there in age now.
Oh, no, he was just as cool as he used to be back in the day.
It just felt like more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Or didn't miss a beat.
I almost wish that it wasn't just a big send-off, that it was going to be a regular thing. I also wish it was on a better service.
Yes, and we'll get into that. But I could have always, a lot of the movies he showed were old standbys.
Yeah.
He showed, started with Tourist Trap, which I'd never seen. But I had seen House of Wax, which I guess was a remake of that movie. I didn't know that when I watched House of Wax. I just knew that it sucked. Sleepaway Camp.
Wait a minute. Which House of Wax? Because there's like 3 of them.
The one with the Paris Hilton one.
Yeah, okay, because that was a remake of the original House of Wax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so there we go. So House of Wax was a fucking remake, and then they made a remake of a remake.
Yeah, they remade a remake.
It's like Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I could have always watched these, and I've known about these from you have things like Best of the Worst and a lot of YouTube channels that focus on these movies exclusively, and I always could have gone out and sought them and got the knowledge.
But it's different. But it's different to watch it for your own and gather your own
with a
intel.
With a guide, having a guide and like breaking it up and kind of like if you're feeling a certain way about a movie and then Joe Bob interrupts and he kind of is telling jokes and thinks that things are ridiculous just like you do, you're like, okay, I'm not crazy.
But it's all done in reverence and stuff. Like it's all from a place of love, dude. He loves these crappy movies, dude, and that's fantastic.
Oh yeah. So we watched that. The movies that we saw.
We saw 4 of them, 5 of them.
We saw a bit. We watched Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah. Which was mind-blowing.
It was an experience.
For sure. You know, that's, we were talking, because we missed the beginning of it.
We did.
Which we're going to talk about when we talk about how shitty the Shudder thing was.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently it's totally available on YouTube for free.
Oh, okay.
At least it was before this, so I don't know if it's still free.
Yeah, and if you want to get if you want to get a 7-day free trial of Shudder, all of these are on demand too, with the Joe Bob
Which
Briggs
is probably the better way to watch it.
Yeah, you'll watch it with no interruptions or any nonsense.
Yeah.
So that's another place you can check it out. The whole marathon. But Sleepaway Camp, as you informed me as we were watching it, is somewhat notorious. And I was watching it just going, there's nothing weird about this movie.
Oh, yeah. And I told you to wait.
It's kind of just a corny camp movie, but somebody's killing people.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Does it get retarded quickly?
It is an experience. But I'm trying to figure out which one of those came first, Meatballs or that one. Because I think Meatballs and Sleepaway Camp were like the first big summer camp movies.
Oh, okay. And then you had Wet Hot American Summer.
Wet Hot American Summer. You had movies in the 90s like Camp Nowhere, Heavyweights.
Yeah.
Which all kind of borrow a lot from Sleepaway Camp. After watching Sleepaway Camp, seeing things that were very familiar to like wardrobe and lines in Sleepaway Camp that are played for jokes in other films. Like everybody in Wet Hot American Summer dresses exactly like everyone in Sleepaway Camp. And I was revisiting the How Did This Get Made podcast of Sleepaway Camp.
Okay.
If I can reference another
podcast
podcast on here.
I already did.
A much more popular one.
It's not always about that.
And
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. We're waiting.
If you're listening.
We're waiting. One of the hosts of the show, Paul Scheer, he reached out to one of his friends that was in the film because one of the characters is like a spot-on parody of the Jewish big muscle, like, what are you kids doing in here? Musclehead. I called him Sliced Alone Light.
Yes.
That guy. He's apparently a parody taken directly from that character and like one other character from Meatballs, and they're like a mixture of the two.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but yeah, dude, it's definitely pulled a lot from Sleepaway Camp for it.
Yeah, because not knowing that it was one of the originals, I was just kind of like, no, this just has all the classic camp, like summer camp movie tropes, and this is kind of dumb. Because somebody's getting killed every now and again, and like we know who the killer is.
Yeah, you know who the killer is the whole time. They try to mix it up, and maybe it's her maybe it's her cousin, maybe it's her, but it's her the whole time.
Yes, and then I saw like there's a couple shots where like it only shows the killer's like silhouette or hands, and I was like, yeah, that's a boy.
Yeah.
So it must be him, and I was like, that's dumb. I'm like, that's not really a twist. I know it's one of the two of them. They decided they needed a twist because otherwise it was a summer camp movie, and then the girl you think is killing people turns out to be killing people. That's an ending.
And then you get one of the most ridiculous and almost and contrived and almost entirely unnecessary twists.
And inconsequential.
And like it's funny. It's bizarre, and it's funny that this is the way they did it.
They did not come up with a clever twist.
No.
Like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't even consider that. Or anything of the nature. It was her.
It just comes right out of left field.
It was her.
Yeah.
But she's a boy.
Yeah, and you can tell that because she's completely nude.
She got nude for some reason. Yeah, and had a wiener. And that's what, and the people who stumbled upon her, she has a severed head.
Yeah. She's covered in blood and doing this weird demon face animal scream.
Screaming like an animal, and they go, oh my God, she's a boy.
She's a boy. And that's the most shocking thing in the scene. Not the fact that she's covered in the blood of another young man.
Or it was her. But no. That's the twist.
She's a boy.
She has a wiener.
By the way.
And I should have seen it coming. There was one hint earlier in the movie.
She never showers with the other girls.
They said that, yeah. But you thought it was because she was flat as a board and in need of a screw.
Yes. I've heard her referred to as a carpenter's wet dream. Which is horribly cruel. And that's the one thing
they were really mean to
about
this
this movie.
Girl.
Everybody's, and it's not just to her. Like, everybody is just flying off the handle the whole time through this movie.
Summer camp is a tense situation.
It's a very angry place, and I guess that was how they were trying to build tension. Like, it could be anybody. But
yeah,
I
guess
it didn't work.
But they never even implied that it was somebody else. Like that was the thing. They didn't set up.
Because like they'd see somebody being mean to her, and then she'd just sit there and stop talking again, and just stare at them with that creepy fucking 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, and
then they would die mysteriously later on, and it was. They pull a couple little like, oh well, where's Ricky? Moves and stuff, and it's just like, where is Ricky? But then you're like, yeah, but I know who it is.
Yeah, I was sick in my room, you butt-tard. And you're like, huh, okay.
Yeah, it does that whole thing where kids are swearing like they do in Amblin movies, but it is so blue. Like, it is way over the top, dude. It's like, fuck you fucking cocksucker.
Fuck you, I'll fucking be back and kill you, stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. They're swearing like crazy adults.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was actually a whole lot of fun to watch.
It was very fun because it's very dumb.
The Joe Bob stuff during that was whatever because he had the actress who played the girl.
The girl, Angela.
Angela, yeah. They were just chit-chatting kind of about the horror convention scene.
No, she is a bizarre woman.
Yeah, and well, yes, she also married the guitarist
Lead
from
guitarist.
CKY because he went on the first episode of Jackass wearing a shirt with her picture on it.
Yeah, because
and
he
then
was
stalked her. And
was he stalking her? Or was he stalking Judy?
He was stalking her.
Okay,
and then had his agent like call her agent, and then she's like, "Oh, this is dope," and they got married.
That's kind of cute.
That's sweet for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was fine.
That one was fun. I enjoyed that one a lot. The one that I genuinely liked, though, was the next one. Mm-hmm. The Cronenberg, Ivan Reitman produced, early in Ivan Reitman's career, too. I think this is before he went on to all his comedy classics and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was called Rabid.
Thank you. Rabid. God.
Yes.
I spaced on it there for a second. And it is I don't want to say body horror.
No, it's...
I would say bio horror.
Yeah, it's...
because it's...
medical horror. I don't know.
We'll do that, yeah.
Which,
she becomes...
It's a version of body horror.
Yeah, she becomes some kind... It's filmed entirely in Canada.
Yeah.
Starring a classic porn star of the time, whose name escapes me.
Marilyn Chambers.
Thank you. Yeah,
yes.
Marilyn Chambers. And she gets in a terrible motorcycle accident at the beginning, and through
we missed the setup for why the accident happened.
No, we saw what happened.
We saw her crash. There was a van broken down in the road.
Yeah,
but I don't know why the van was broken down.
Yeah,
and
dude,
we missed the setup of the hospital. But you get it.
He was trying to pull a U-turn.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to flip his RV around or whatever it was, and the van died while he was long ways, and they were racing down the highway on the motorcycle, and then he swerved to miss it, and then
did a jump.
Somehow did a jump, and the bike exploded on top of her.
Yeah, going off the road, managed to jump into the air,
and it was like
Vanilla Ice
in Cool as Ice. Yeah.
It was a lot like
Check it out, Aeoni Sky. What's up, babe?
Yeah,
I'm a sling a schlong. That's a line from the movie, folks.
Yeah, so she's horribly burned.
Yeah, she gets terribly burned, and they put her in this plastic surgery hospital, which happens to be right up the road from where they were.
Yeah.
And through some kind of skin graft mishap, she gains a vampiric appendage
it was
in
like,
her armpit.
It was like pseudoscience stem cell shit that they were doing with her.
Yeah.
And it caused a mutation.
Yeah. Somehow it doesn't happen anywhere that the skin grafts are applied.
No.
It's in her armpit.
Yeah, but it affects her. And what's weird is it affects like her whole anatomy.
Oh,
because she can't eat food anymore.
She can't eat food. She has to suck the blood of the living through her armpit penis vagina.
Yes.
Because that's what it looks like, folks.
It's a vagina in her arm. It's a sphincter.
Yeah, first it's a butthole, then it's a
armpit.
vagina, then it's a vagina with a weenus inside
the penis
of it.
that comes out of it.
Yeah.
It gets sheathed within the vagina.
Yeah. And basically, anytime she hugs a man, she's going to town. She's drinking that blood, sweet blood.
And she's hungry all the time.
Oh, she never stops.
She has to eat like 3 times a night.
She is insatiable.
It's ridiculous.
She tries to drink the blood of a cow.
Yes.
And it makes her immediately sick because she can only feed on the blood of humans, apparently. And then she almost gets raped by a drunky McFarmer kid.
Yeah.
And she eats him. But when she eats them, they turn into rabid, green, foam-spitting... I don't want to say zombies because they're not zombies. They're fully cognizant.
Kind of like zombies.
But yeah, if you've seen like 28 Days Later where they have that crazy rabies strain, it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, so her ailment is that she needs to feed on human flesh, but when she does that, she does not kill them or turn them into her.
No.
She just turns them into like a zombie that eventually dies off.
Yeah, she is patient zero, basically. Yeah. She's immune to the virus.
Typhoid
Mary. Yeah. She would be the she's the whatever in the whole thing. But
progenitor.
You go on this crazy wild road trip with her where her boyfriend, who looks like Canadian Christopher Walken,
is a theme for the night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the theme. There are a lot of actors in these movies. Like the next one we're going to talk about has a guy that looks like Bruce Jenner, and Christopher Walken had a baby and it came out looking like him. his head looked too big for his body.
It was weird, and his fucking luscious, voluminous hair did not help.
Beautiful. He has that Farrah Fawcett type of Charlie's Angels thing going on. He's very, very Kelso.
Very. Yeah, and with Rabid, it was a slow burn.
It was very slow. The beginning
kept you interested.
Yeah, it really got you interested in it. It's kind of a cool, because like I said, you don't want to call them zombies, but you get this very early days of a zombie type of flick. Like, what would be the response to it? You start seeing all these. They declare martial law on Montreal and Quebec, and they start. There's these dump trash trucks driving around with full military guys and guys dressed up in those moon suit, clean suits and stuff. And they're going around just picking up these dead zombies and bodies and just, shooting them down or burning them and then throwing them in the trash trucks. And then at the end of the movie, you hear that like a full outbreak has happened and there's just gunfire and explosions going on in the background. It was really, really cool.
It was really good.
I liked it a lot. It's a Cronenberg movie.
Yeah, there were some bizarre things that things that don't make sense that you get from these kind of more low budget B movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of plot holes.
Like calling her boyfriend and then running away and leaving on a hitchhiking. Yeah,
she's like, "Come get me. You have to get me out of here." So he goes to go get her and she's getting ready to leave like immediately. She just runs away. After he says, "Okay, I'll be there in like an hour" or something like that. But I liked the interaction between him and her when it's revealed what she is. I thought that was really cool. That was actually kind of it gets you a little bit. He overacts. This is another movie where everyone's just on 11 at all the time. Everybody's screaming.
Except for her, to be honest. She actually, for being a porno actress, did very, very, very well.
I was very impressed with her. And like her story is like really sad. Like if you're interested, look into Marilyn Chambers. But I also it's not going to leave you happy. It's a real sad story. But
I don't know how it ends.
Well,
I mean, like, plenty of people do porn and they're not like.
Well, no, it's just that
it's not like their life is ruined.
No, it wasn't because of the porn. It was just she does eventually die, unfortunately, at a very young age.
Oh shit, I did not know that.
Yeah, she had a brain aneurysm or something like that. But yeah, she kept trying to get into legitimate film and it just was never working because like she kept ending up in movies like these where everybody's just like, "Show your tits, kid." Yeah. And then
there was plenty of nudity.
There's a lot of nudity. Yeah, it was just kind of sad that she ended up not being known for more legitimate film and died pretty much in obscurity. Although, if I remember right, she was the one I read about after watching this I'm just gonna get into it, I guess. She ran for vice president with another candidate. Oh, they were like a third or fourth party obscure kind of thing, dude. And she was his vice president choice. So that was kind of interesting, but. No, it's just kind of sad that she was really obscure and stuff, and then she just dies from a brain aneurysm.
Yeah, that sucks.
Much like what's his name from Silicon Valley?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But so definitely if you can watch it anywhere, definitely check out Rabid. Rabid was really cool. I really liked Rabid.
Yeah, whether you watch it with Joe Bob or by itself, it holds up. It's good.
Seek the movie out, definitely. Try to find it anywhere. It was a really cool, really fun movie. Sleepaway Camp makes you laugh because it's so goofy and corny and cheesy, but it's fun and wacky and bizarre. This movie was actually cool, and if they did a remake of this, and it's one of those movies where you want to see remade so they can do it right and do it better.
And you could do it low budget still, and it would be great.
It would be really cool to see that one worked out somewhere because I think it could be real spooky and stuff.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
Yeah, much better than World War Z.
Yes, yeah, much better. It actually focused on the slow progression of a epidemic like
outbreak,
that. Yeah. It's not like we need, low budget actually helps it out because because there's not the temptation to have helicopters flying, fucking falling from the sky, and
there's not a lot of CGI or anything like that. Like a lot of these zombie movies have been lately. Yeah,
you see in early stages, it's great. After that, it's been 6 hours since the marathon has started, and I think they're calling in the overnight.
Yeah, they're getting the late night shows in that are.
Well, people are sleeping, but we still stayed up and watched 2 of them.
Yeah, we watched the next one up was the Prowler,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure came after Halloween because it steals so much from Halloween and does none of it right.
Yeah, it was.
It was the most boring slasher flick I've ever seen.
It was terribly boring. It was where
First of
Joe
all-
Bob shined the greatest.
Oh, he was fantastic.
He was kind of just ripping the film apart.
Yeah. He's like, he said it's the best ones are the ones that I could get that Shudder could get for under $30.
Yeah,
I think that was the one where he made that joke, and he recommended all of them, and he's just like, yeah, not all of them are winners, you know. But yeah, this one was holy crap,
making fun of the bed and breakfast that was supposed to be
Yeah,
a sorority house, a dorm room.
It was supposed to be a dormitory. Yeah.
Oh my god,
It was so bad, and it's obviously just a hotel.
Yeah,
It's so lame.
I think there was one claim to fame in it. I think the guy who works with George Romero did a lot of the effects, right?
I think that's what he said.
Yeah. I forget the guy's name.
Tom Savini.
Yes, Savini. There we go. I think
Yeah,
Savini
yeah.
did the effects.
Yeah,
So
he
that
does.
was-
Well, Tom Savini is a legend in the entire industry.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the man does great horror effects and special effects makeup and all that stuff. He's fantastic.
So I think that was kind of why it made it to watch the
Mm-hmm.
effects. And if I remember correctly, they're fine.
Oh yeah, the deaths are great. They're really visceral, very cool, very very savage and brutal. I think the only one that made me laugh though was the pool. The pool was ridiculous.
Yeah, the pool was. Yeah.
But yeah, no man, nothing much happens in that movie.
I
Like
can't really talk about it. I think we were kind of just talking amongst ourselves.
yeah, we were making jokes through most of it because it was
And-
so boring.
And I think it had the most Joe Bob interruptions.
Yeah, well, because like nothing happens. Like it starts off, you know, you get your couple kills and everything, and you see the killer, and then nothing happens. They go to their high school. They go to their. Not, I keep wanting to say high school reunion. It's not a reunion. It's their graduation.
It's a
dance.
college graduation dance.
It's like a prom for college, which I didn't know they did things like that. But no, it's this weird. So that's going on in one part, and they're like everybody's got to stay inside, and they're kind of like, oh, boo hoo.
Yeah.
But nobody
Ooh.
nobody's trying to break out, or there's no panic.
One
or
person
anything.
did.
Yeah.
And they put him in jail because
Yeah.
he's like, should I call the sheriff?
Yeah. The deputy who is walking Jenner.
Yes.
He keeps like, well, I gotta call the sheriff. It's like, no, you don't gotta call the sheriff. Like, you're the deputy. He left you in charge. You have authority.
He was on a fishing excursion.
Yeah, he was on a fishing excursion early in the movie. Wink, wink.
He also hates co-eds.
He also hates the college. Yeah, especially the co-eds. Yeah. Oh God. It's so, and then like you get a lot of like, oh well, it's got to be old Major Chatham or whatever his name
Oh,
is.
God, Major
and this
Chatham.
man is this old man.
Major
is,
Chatham.
Major Chatham.
Major Chatham.
Major Chatham.
Major Chatham.
Major Chatham.
We need to go back to Major Chatham.
We have to go back to Major Chatham's house. Major
Why?
Chatham.
Major Chatham.
Major Chatham. That's most of the middle of the movie. Is
Yeah.
them wandering around this wheelchair-bound old man's house, who they are convinced is the killer. He makes 2 appearances and then disappears entirely. You never see him again. You never find out what his tie to anything was.
I don't know what happened to him.
He's just gone.
Yeah, he may have showed back up, but yeah, I don't remember.
No, he never. As far
And
as
then
I
they were
remember,
at,
he
they were at
never
a
showed
graveyard.
up
Then
again.
they went back to Major Chatham's.
Yeah, they go to the dance. They go to the school. They go to Chatham's. They leave. They go to the precinct. They go
to the graveyard.
To the graveyard. Then they go back to the house, and the movie ends.
Yes.
And nothing happens. It's them like wandering around, and it's like they're supposed to be investigating, but they're just kind of lazily walking around a house,
Saying Major Chatham.
just calling Major Chatham's name, and then standing in rooms by themselves, staring at pictures.
Yeah.
It's the most boring movie. It's so bad.
Yeah, and there was something about somebody's daughter and this and that. I don't know how it's.
and they were supposed to be married,
Yeah, I
but
don't
he
know.
died in the war or something like that.
I don't know how it tied into the sheriff being the killer.
Oh.
But
That was a cool shot, though. That was probably the best effect in the whole movie was when he gets shotgunned.
oh my god.
That was nuts.
I totally forgot about the exploding head.
Because it totally looks like it looks real. Because
Yeah,
like there's
the
no
cut's
real
very well done.
Yeah, it's a very decent cut, and it's a lot of those dark shadows and stuff. So you don't see a lot of like the openly fake shit and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like it's there's one kill in a shower that is savage.
Oh yeah,
It is really gruesome. Amazing makeup effects.
Really good shit.
And that is the highest praise that I will level towards the Prowler because it is the laziest movie. It is so bad.
It's fucking bad.
It's terrible. And then we moved on to the next one.
Yeah, and something told me.
Yeah.
Maybe don't stick around for this one, but it's like, fuck it.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, well, it was the way he set it up. He didn't even sound enthused about watching it himself.
No.
It was from the 90s. It was set in California, and it is a softcore porn without any of the porn.
Yeah, I think it was like 89, close to
89, 90, something like that. Yeah.
It was called Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama.
Yeah.
Is I believe what it was called.
It had a jive-talking imp who was indiscernible. You could not understand a single thing he said.
No, and I don't understand what his plan was. To be fair, I'm not gonna lie about this one. I was dozing off.
Oh, because it was bad.
And I don't remember exactly how it concludes. But
I'll
basically,
tell you, because I was awake through most of it.
Yeah,
it was. They go into the bowling alley and they try to steal a trophy for the sorority.
I remember that. Yeah. No, I remember the setup.
And the imp comes out and he grants them wishes, but they're typical I'm a demon wishes, and they're all really bad.
See, but they weren't clever.
Yeah, well, no, they weren't. And the problem was he kept saying that he was trying to punish them for being evil because that's what imps do. But then he's trying to punish the two that didn't make wishes, so it's not like Leprechaun or anything like that, where it makes a little bit of sense, even though it's terrible. This movie just made no sense. It was just excuses to get girls running around in skimpy outfits.
Yeah.
And
well, it starts with
terrible puppet.
Yeah, it starts with the three horny dudes knowing that the sorority of 3 people is going to have initiations on 2 more girls because they're almost about to double this sorority.
The sorority is a sorority of 3 girls.
Yeah, and it's just
who have been out of college for arguably 15 years.
Especially the lead one. And their sorority house is like a random house in like Diamond Bar or something.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it was definitely the Valley.
Yeah. And they look through the window and they're like paddling their butts, and then they're like, there's a gratuitous girl-on-girl spanking scene. And even while they're sneaking into the house, they go out of their way to have the sound effect.
Yeah, you're still getting...
So they were spanking them for like fucking 10 minutes straight.
It's so pervy.
And then they get caught, and they're like, oh, you pervs, go with the initiates and steal a thing from a bowling alley. My dad owns the mall. Let's watch them.
Yeah, that lasts for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, there was also a bit with a janitor who kept getting stuck in the pipe room.
Thank God for that janitor, man. That janitor was saving that movie for me. He's just this doddering old idiot. He says, "What'd you say? No, I'll just wait here." Like, we said you should wait here. No, I think I'll just wait here.
Yeah. He like wants to punish them, and they start
the imp, not the janitor.
Yeah. No, I know. Sorry, I moved right along.
The janitor is mortified by the fact that they have unleashed this tiny demon.
Yeah, well, see, I don't even remember that. I just remember him being locked in a thing. And then,
he's like if you left a gremlin hand puppet out for too long, that's what the imp looks like. Like if you left him in the sun.
No, I remember the imp. I don't remember what happened past. I don't know. The girls getting zapped and turning into minions.
Yeah, one turns into a clayface zombie.
Yeah,
and the other one turns into the Bride of Frankenstein.
Ooh, that was weird.
In a see-through nightie.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I was dozing off.
Yeah, and then they don't do anything for the longest time, and then they just kind of like, well, the sun's up, so they go to the door, and the imp's like, you can't leave, I'm gonna get you, and then she puts him in a tobacco tin, and this is how the movie ends. She dumps a Prince Albert tin on top of his head, and they make the Prince Albert, in a can joke. Prince Albert in a can joke, and then they take off on a dirt bike.
I do remember that.
Dude, nothing happened in that movie.
It
was literally just like, okay, this girl's in a bra and panties. This girl's got taken her bra off. She's, lady raping this man. This one's trying to put concealer on. The punk girls getting gratuitous underboob shots.
Yeah.
Movie's over. That movie was so fucking dumb. I hated that movie, dude.
I wasn't.
I do not blame you for falling asleep.
I obviously wasn't that into it. Oddly enough, I ended up you left after that.
Yeah.
I ended up getting like this weird cut on my fucking foot, and I had to deal with that.
Shit.
And then I was like awake again, and I ended up watching.
Oh God, Ryan. Does it look like a sphincter now?
No, it doesn't. No,
do you have a...
No. I didn't put a mask on and then take it off, and then I had a cut. Doesn't matter.
Do you have an ankle penis vagina?
No. It's just a regular ancus vagina. Let's go with that. So I ended up watching about half hour of Daughters of Darkness.
Oh, cool.
It was fucking weird as shit.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it was about as the whole, but the main dude was the creepiest creep that's ever creeped. It was very sexual. The whole thing. He was always very aggressive with his girlfriend, but she also was weird. Like they were married, but they're like getting to know each other. They even said that.
Was it like an arranged marriage or something?
And he I don't know. And then like he saw a dead girl being wheeled out of somewhere, and he got his jollies off on it. Ugh. And I tried sticking around and seeing what it was about, and I was just like, I think I came into this too late, and it's creeping me out, so I turned it off and went to bed.
Yeah.
But that was the next one, and then I think they did one more. I don't remember what it was called. Then they did Basket Case. Then they did Reanimator.
I'm sad. You say you saw the end of that one. I wish you saw the whole one. That is one of my favorite horror flicks ever.
I saw.
It's intentionally funny.
Yes.
So it's like, you know how Slime Balls was supposed to be horror comedy. Like Reanimator does it well. It's very dark, very dry, and it's Jeffrey Combs is hysterical.
I saw the famous. I was obviously in time for the famous scene.
Oh. Yeah.
Which was a thing, and then they showed, and then I was like up, and I was ready to watch the next one, and it was Demons.
Oh yeah, and we had watched Demons the night prior.
We had just watched it on the free Shudder thing when we were like checking the service out when it worked properly.
Yeah, when it actually worked.
So we can talk about Demons.
Demons is
got a little history on it.
So fun.
Yeah. Oh, it was really fun.
It was one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen, but like it was dumb in all the good ways.
And I watched the intro at Joe.
Bizarre Italian.
Yeah, so I got all the info on like it was like there was like one Italian like horror legend that produced it.
Okay.
But he also wrote it with another guy and like 4 other of the people in that like Italian horror thing. So
it's like a committee.
It was like a committee thing where they all just sat around and thought of fucking cool ideas, and they went to West Germany to shoot it because they wanted it to look dystopian. Yeah. Then Joe Bob went on a rant about Handmaid's Tale, and I thought that was amazing.
Damn it! I wish I could have seen that.
He was talking about dystopian and how much he hated 1984, and and like how nobody has any real problems, and he's just like making fun of people. Well, he made a lot of Trump jokes, but they were lighthearted. Yeah. And then this one was kind of like not making fun of Trump. It was like making fun of people who don't like Trump. So he's
well, they're just as funny as the people that do like Trump.
Yeah, exactly. So he played both sides of that coin, and I thought that was great. But this good dystopian future rant, it was amazing. But then he's talking about like what's the difference between a zombie and a demon? Because like this movie doesn't know. I guess if you run, you're a demon. Because remember they're just zombies in this movie.
Yeah,
but they're called but they're demons.
Yeah, because I remember that one girl, they kill her, and then out of her skin pops like her in demon makeup, and she's like, it's that movie is so bizarre. Like nothing happens. Like you're watching a movie in a theater with them. That's the storyline of the movie that you're watching.
Yes.
So it's a movie in a movie, which is so weird. And everything that happens in the movie happens in the movie.
Yes. Until they smash the movie because they think that it's fuck you movie.
Yeah, they think the movie's the one. Yeah, there's a pimp in it, and he is a champion.
Oh yeah.
He is the only one that I actually thought was going to be like the main character. And then the main characters end up being two total randos.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these weird cutaways to this car full of punk kids doing cocaine out of a Coke can.
When I first saw it, I was like,
I was with you on it. I was like, are they snorting?
Like
Coke?
they're snoking. They're snorting Coca-Cola. Like this is a funny. Like what is with this joke?
Yeah, and then you find out that there was Coke in the Coke can.
Yeah, there was a bunch of Coke in there.
Yeah, and that made me laugh. I thought that was great. But,
yeah, and that whole weird scene with the razor blade.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, like that's cut out of like every version of it except for the one that he showed.
Okay. That was
like,
so uncomfortable.
It was very uncomfortable and weird.
Yeah, he's like, one of the punk guys is like taking a razor blade over this girl's...
Over Chanel West Coast from Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory.
No.
But I'm saying that's who she looks like.
Oh,
a female minkus.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what Chanel West Coast looks like.
She looks exactly like, she does look like Minkus from Boy Meets World.
Yeah. So I just noticed that. I was while we were watching it.
You just blew my mind.
While we were watching it the first time, I was like, she looks like somebody. And then when I was watching it again until I fell asleep, I was like, no, it's Chanel West Coast, which is just the female minkus.
She totally looks like Minkus.
Oh, she does.
Oh my god. Okay. Back on point.
Which also, he grew up and then he was on One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
And his name was Head and Brain, I don't know.
Yeah, he was like Amanda.
Mouth. His name was Mouth.
Oh Lord. Like Corey Feldman in Goonies.
What was his name?
Mouth.
Oh. I've never seen the Goonies.
You ever seen the All right, we got to do some stuff. No, it's this disturbing scene where the punk girl gets like part of her boob exposed, and the dude sitting next to her just starts like running a razor blade over her.
He says there's snow in the valley. And this was after she said that she had it in her panties. And he's like, oh, it's getting you buzzed.
And by the way, these scenes have nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
The movie's been going on for 45 minutes by this point, and now we just cut away.
We're watching chaos go on in the theater. These people are being eaten. They're panicking. They found out that
they're barricading themselves up on the
theater.
Mezzanine. Yeah.
The theater is like a demonic thing. It's a thing from hell. So it has locked all of them in there, and they're gonna eat all of them basically, and we keep cutting away to this car full of punks that has nothing to do with the rest of the movie at all, and then this disgusting scene with a razor blade is going on in the back of this car, and he's like running this razor blade along her boobs and stuff, and then he just fucking straight out cuts her.
And he cuts her, and then she goes. Forget what she said.
She calls
because it's all dubbed.
Yeah. Oh, it's all dubbed. It's like you can tell that the Italians are speaking English.
Yeah.
But they they dub over in American because probably they all have like really thick accents, and so the words don't come out right.
Yeah, it's really weird because like sometimes I look at it and I wonder if they change the dialogue or if they're speaking Italian. But then other times I'm like, no, their lips are moving to those words. Mm-hmm. Very confused.
Well, that happens in spaghetti westerns too, and I think it's because of accents and stuff like that. So I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But no, dude, it's this really weird scene, and then they end up hiding from the cops next to the theater.
All pigs suck.
All pigs suck. And then they run away after they've gotten away scot-free from these cops. The cops are just going to let them go.
Well, it was a blind alley. They couldn't shoot at him.
Yeah, that's true.
I paid a lot. I ended up watching the first half of it twice.
Okay.
But then I was like, I'm going back to bed. I already saw this.
Yeah, I don't need to watch this thing. Yeah. But yeah, no, they do this whole thing, and then you go back to the theater, and then they find a way out of the theater, but it goes into this bizarre hallway hidden inside the theater, and they end up in this room that's driving them all crazy, and then you get a smash cut back to them just hanging out in the lobby where they barricaded themselves. So they just decided not to go anywhere with that plot.
It was weird.
It doesn't make any sense.
I couldn't tell if it was like originally it was just that they were overwhelmed that wasn't a way out. And then I don't know if they made it with ADR and music that it was.
Yeah, because there was this
crazy.
weird like wee going on in the background, and everybody's freaking out. And then they just smash cut back to them all just in the balcony, not the lobby, the balcony.
Yeah.
Where they've barricaded themselves, and then to get the ball rolling on the movie again, they just decide randomly to tear apart all the barricades.
The punks make it into the movie theater.
Yeah.
While one of the demon zombies makes it out. And that spreads the plague across.
Yeah. You get another weird zombie thing going on with that.
That comes later. But so they hear them in there.
Yeah.
They hear just something. And then they go, somebody's here to rescue us. Get rid of all the barricades. And then somebody goes, but what if that's just the demons that we barricaded out? And they go, what? And then the movie has to keep going.
Yeah. We have to end this somehow.
It was so stupid.
And then the best part of the movie happens, though, Ryan.
Oh my God.
The dirt bike display that's in the middle of
that's in the
theater
lobby when they come in.
For no reason.
Yeah. No, it was just like...
It's been heavily established.
Cool 80s contemporary.
There's this cool-ass, rad dirt bike that they have...
There's a mannequin with a samurai sword
thoroughly established in this movie.
They've shown it a few times.
Yeah. And then our hero, Rando McHero Buns.
George.
George? Was that his name?
His name was George.
That's a very Italian type of thing for me. This is George. This is Bill.
Yeah.
His American name. He gets on the dirt bike and then with the samurai sword rides into hell. Just swinging it, killing as many of these demon zombies as he can.
Oh, yeah.
They make their escape.
After a helicopter crashes through the roof.
Yeah. Oh, and then he fights a Terminator demon, Demonator.
Who was at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, he was the ticket guy. Mm-hmm. And him and his girl, they fight the dude, they get away, and then, oh no, she's been demoned.
And they're in like a Jeep with like...
riding out of town.
A stereotypical like doomsday prepper family.
It's very much the remake of Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead and like Cloverfield Lane, riding the car out while chaos is going around. And she turns into a demon and he like punches her in the face.
No, the kid in the front seat
kid blows
shoots her
away
with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And then he just looks back and goes, meh.
Yeah, he just looks back after everything they've been through. This is his lady. And he just kind of goes, And
they didn't know each other before the movie theater, by the way.
I thought they'd been together.
No. Her and her friend are just like...
Because you saw it at the very beginning. I came in a little bit later, yeah.
Her and her friend... Because I told you had to come watch it.
Yeah.
Her and her friend... just go into the theater together and they're like, oh, I bet you they're going to sit next to us. And they're like, hey, ladies.
Yeah.
You skipped the part where he had to kill his friend with the samurai sword as well.
Oh, God. His friend. Like, see, and that was, I thought they were on like a double date, dude, because the two of them were so, like, not his friend and the other girl.
Yes.
They acted like they had been together forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was the weirdest scene because it's like, go ahead, I want you to see me like this.
And God. And they're like screaming at each other.
And they're like, okay. And then they like wander off a few paces and they're like, well, I guess I'll give him some privacy while he turns into a demon. And then finally he's like, okay, well, you guys are obviously retarded, so I want you to kill me with a samurai sword. And he's like, nah. Okay.
He's so excited about dying with that samurai sword, too. He's like, use this.
The voiceover was ridiculous. Use this.
He's so excited about it. And the pimp was the greatest. He was so amazing.
The people who did the voices were amazing. The bitch that'll teach you to touch stuff. Just shit like that. But also...
nah, man, you gotta get him like this. And he pulls out his switchblade. And he's like, trying to teach him how to stab. And then dies immediately.
And he dies. Also, the main guy, George, when they're first... realize they're trapped in there, he goes, there must be an explanation.
Yeah, he's shaking the shit out of that guy. There has to be an explanation. And these people, they're rattling the doors instead of like paying attention to the fact that they push, they're all pulling on them.
It's weird because they didn't actually secure them.
No.
So it's just mime acting. I don't know. Yeah. But another weird, in the movie, the voiceover for those guys is fucking hilarious as well. because when he's putting on the mask, which happened in the theater as well, he's putting on the mask and he goes, "Don't do that. It'll turn you into a demon." And then he goes, "How do you know? It says here that it will turn you into a demon." It's my favorite line ever.
Oh no, because it says so on the box.
If you put that on, it will turn you into a demon. How do you know? Well, because it says if you put that on, it will turn you into a demon. And I honestly think they just played it again.
Yeah, Demons is a lot of fun.
Best, yeah.
Definitely check that one out too. That one's like Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah,
Great laugh.
Demons is good. It's good stuff. After that, they played the Legend of Boggy Creek. Didn't want to watch that.
Dude, I've watched that one on MST3K, and it is hard to get through on MST3K. It's very funny, but there's a part where it seems like even they got bored, and they said they didn't write any jokes, so it gets a little long in the middle. But it's yeah, Boggy
sporadic
Creek is terrible.
Hilarity is not something that I enjoy too much. If it's too long and boring, and there's parts that are just like, yes, I'll just watch the best of.
Well, that was like the Prowler for me, dude. Where it was just oh my god,
for sure. And this was even worse because you can't really hear very well.
Yeah, it's got that terrible documentary style it's like kind of a documentary, and then it's not. But anymore, then it's not, and then weird. It is again at the end.
It's semi-factual, is what they would call it.
I remember the first time I saw the Beast.
Fuck monster, or whatever the fuck it's called. So I bowed out.
Did you just call it the fuck monster?
The fuck monster. So I fucking bowed out of that. The next one was Hellraiser.
Yeah, you told me you watched Hellraiser.
I watched Hellraiser for the first time.
Movie.
It was fine. It was fine.
I hate that movie, dude. That's one of those ones where it's just like, oh, the agony and the ecstasy.
Yeah, it's got a real goth BDSM fucking circle jerk 90s mentality about it.
Yeah.
Although I think it was in the 80s.
It's like late 80s, mid 80s, I think. The first one is.
It had a real
There's like 6 of those, dude.
No, I know. And Pinhead becomes a thing, and it's just like he was just a guy there.
Yeah, he just comes out of the box.
Yeah, it was fine. Some of the effects were cool.
A lot of people say that's a very Lovecraftian kind of thing, and I'm like, I don't know. Have you ever read Lovecraft? It's not like this at all.
A bit, but it's
well, because it's got that whole the unknown drives you crazy once you find it. And the puzzle box is
the puzzle box,
but like
they show up and
the overall thing of it is just people often for some odd reason get Lovecraft mixed up with like sci-fi horror porn.
Yeah.
And if you read any of his stuff, it's not like that at all.
Yeah. And Joe Bob shed a lot of light on that one too, because he was going to like sex clubs, like weird
the writer.
fetish. Yeah, the writer and director. Because he directed it. He's like a horror writer, a British horror writer who they had made a couple of his books into movies, and then he was like, fuck this, they keep fucking it up, so he just directed it. Didn't know how to do anything. He just did it. He was just like, fuck it.
You can tell. I fucking hate that movie, dude.
So and he was like going to like weird fetish sex clubs and doing stuff like that, and he put that into the movie, and yeah, it had a weird BDSM kind of overly sexualized thing going on.
Like how Trinity looks like every dominatrix ever in the Matrix movies, because the Wachowski brothers are super into that.
Yes, the Wachowski siblings.
The Wachowski siblings, my bad. I forgot. Well, one of them married his dominatrix, and the other one is now a woman, of course. But yeah, if I remember right, one of them married his dominatrix, who was the inspiration for Trinity, as I recall.
That I did not know.
Yeah.
I've lost... I don't follow them.
Dude, After Jupiter Ascending, I was done, dude. Because like I kept trying to give him chances, and they made The Matrix, and that was the best movie ever. And then the 2 sequels got worse and worse. Speed Racer was Speed Racer, and then Jupiter Ascending was like, you go too far.
Yeah.
I did try to watch their show Sense 8, I think is what it was on Netflix. Sense 8. I didn't even make it to the first episode.
A lot of people liked it. I didn't watch it. Anyway, Hellraiser was fine.
Sorry,
but you're right. It's a crowd, I think, that likes that.
Yeah, it's a niche.
For me, it was just fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was whatever. Then, and this is where we're gonna get into the problem with the whole marathon. It was a movie called Pieces. Was supposed to end out the whole marathon.
Okay.
Like always, Hellraiser ends. Get a sign off. We're going to take a 2-minute break and we'll be right back. And then the fucking stream crashes and I can't load back into it.
Because this was the problem.
We didn't see the beginning of any movie until Prowler.
Until you figured out that you could make it work on your phone.
On my phone's live.
Fairly well, yeah.
It would load. So what I would do is I'd keep it on my phone and we would watch until I could finally get the fucking Roku app to bring up the stream.
Yeah.
That was working fine. Then, so in the morning when I'd woke up, I was watching them all on my iPad and it was fine.
By the way, when this first started, no one saw the beginning of it because it crashed the whole app.
Nobody was able to watch like the first half of Tourist Trap. They immediately, later on in the evening, put Tourist Trap up on demand. So they kind of made that right. But it was still happening in between the movies. The fucking stream would just
because you missed the very beginning of Sleepaway Camp.
Yes.
And I had to tell you the beginning of Sleepaway Camp.
Yes. So then I found out that my phone would generally keep going where my Roku would just stop fucking working in between the movies.
It was, dude, towards the end of the night, it was just crashing the whole thing.
Yes. And then it would crash my whole Roku sometimes. So that was a good system to get around it, but it was still fucking frustrating.
It's a pain in the ass.
By the time Prowler started, I was like, I haven't seen the intro to any of these movies. I have seen no drive-in totals.
You were very mad. Yeah, well, because the drive-in totals at the beginning are the funniest part.
His rants and his drive-in totals are hilarious. So,
bowling foo and all that. He makes up everything's a kung fu derivative and stuff.
Exactly.
And he does like kill totals, what types of kills, all this. Yeah, if you've never seen it before.
Exactly. So
it's really fun, really cool.
So fucking frustrating, but you know what? We were having such a good fucking time. Mm-hmm. It was whatever. Then I found out the phone idea, and that was working for us.
Yeah, that was doing good.
Go to bed, wake up. I'm watching it on the iPad. No problems. Then I'm like, all right, I'm in the living room. Put it on the fucking Roku. It goes into fucking Pieces. Mm-hmm. It crashes. And it doesn't load on anything. It doesn't load on my Roku. It doesn't load on my phone. It doesn't load in the web browser. Everybody on Twitter is losing their shit. I couldn't get it to load on fucking anything.
Oh, shit.
Until the movie was probably 3/4 over.
Fuck.
So I was like, fuck it. Whatever. I'm like, when these come on demand, I'll watch all the ones I missed.
Yeah.
Luckily, they immediately put them all up on demand, and I know they were saying that it was going to be a couple weeks till they did that, and they were going to do a rerun.
Yeah.
But to just get some good faith, they put them all out on demand.
Yeah, good on them. But at the same time, why didn't they stress test this?
It was an event, and it was a live event, and nobody was able to watch anything live. And I saw people during the Pieces thing, because that was so egregious.
While we were watching it, I was reading their Twitter, dude, and people were pissed because they were struggling with it all night long.
All night. And during the Pieces thing, it was the worst it had been since the beginning. Mm-hmm. And there were people who were just tweeting out like, I haven't seen
because everybody's awake at that point.
Yeah, I haven't seen the beginning of any movie for the whole marathon.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, yeah, because if you didn't think to load it on your phone or whatever, like you have your smart TV and that's what you watch shit on.
Yeah. Well, you're sitting at home.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah, you're sitting at home. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and then not only
well, because like the other option would be to go to your PC, but if it's not working on your TV, it's not going to work on your PC.
That's the thing. It was working on my phone. Luckily, I came to my PC, wasn't working there, wasn't working on my phone.
Yeah, because you said it wasn't working on the web browser.
The PC started loading up the wrong movie.
Oh my God.
It was just playing a different movie.
Oh my God.
And then finally my phone loaded later on.
Oh
and like when it was like 3/4 over, and I went back out to the Roku and I never got it to work again.
Yeah, so why didn't they didn't test anything? They didn't do anything. They just put it right out.
They were just like, here we go, and they put it out on their live stream service because it's an on demand and live channel thing.
Yeah, it's like Twitch with the VODs and the live streaming.
And the live channel feed thing, I don't know. It just doesn't work.
He's broken, guys.
So that was disappointing, but overall, that shit fucking, you're mad at the moment, But it goes away, and all I remember is fucking how awesome it was and how good of a time we had watching Sleepaway Camp and shit.
Yeah.
And how good Rabid actually was. It was like a decent, solid film.
The fun we were having during Prowler and the nice bit of nap you got during Slimeball.
Yeah.
I call it Slimeball because I can't ever. You've told me
Sorority
the title.
Babes and the Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama.
I think it's great that you remember that, dude. I will never recall it. I have not committed that to memory in any way.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I had a great time. It was lots of fun.
It was super fun. We always talk about just sitting down and watching a bunch of fucking stupid movies, and we never ever do it.
Yeah.
And that's what was so great about this. There it is.
Yeah.
And if it had worked correctly, it would have been way even fucking better.
Oh yeah, it would have been great. Well, we sat
so
down and
many
we watched the new MST3K for a while too.
Yeah, and that's good.
Fun. But this was cool because it wasn't in that meta. It was just the movie, and then you get scattered commentary breaks for like in place of commercials.
And there was an attempt, and like you said, it's scattered interruptions, and you can do that with a good movie. It doesn't have to always be bad where you're making jokes.
Yeah.
That's the difference with me. But I love both of them. Don't get me wrong. So that was just a good weekend. Saw a lot of films. We ended up watching a film on our own as well.
I was gonna say, did you want to talk about?
Nope.
Okay.
So anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I was gonna talk about the other one, but if you don't, you're shaking your head quite adamantly. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Nope. All right.
They don't deserve that. They got their money. Fuck off.
Oh shit.
Should have done better.
I did not know you were that upset about it. I'm gonna just put the title out. It was Super Troopers 2. Ryan is very upset. We're not gonna talk about it.
Nope.
So take what you will from that, folks. But God, did I do anything? Oh, I checked out Stan Against Evil, the IFC series starring my boy John C. McGinley. It's on Hulu. Fucking hilarious. It's like a Army of Darkness, Evil Dead type of show. It's very much in that vein. Really fucking funny. I need to check out Ash vs. Evil, which is on Netflix and stuff right now. I need to check that out to see how much the two mirror each other. But he's not like Ash at all. He's just this cranky old like Red, I guess, basically, if Red was still around at this time period.
Red Foreman?
Yeah, like Red Foreman, yeah. And it's great. It's John C. McGinley. I love John C. McGinley. He's doing his best in this. He's great. Very funny, very cool. Everybody should check it out.
Check it out. You heard it here first.
If you like those Evil Dead movies, if you like the Army of Darkness, give it a check.
But
again, good horror comedy.
In between these us going to the movie theater, I definitely I want to say I definitely want to check out more movies and talk about them here on the old podcast. But if you remember, we have a show that's its entire fucking premise is for me to watch old movies I haven't seen and talk about them. So we're going to have to figure that out, aren't we?
Yeah, we got to get that one together, dude. It's just, we actually got one whole one recorded.
We have two that are completely filmed.
Yeah.
I have one that there's a problem with it.
There was a bust up with the audio.
And then I have a second one where the video is all funkified.
Yeah. It got scattered to the wind somehow.
Technical issues. So yeah. Anyway, but definitely in the movie watching mood. It's definitely put me in the mood to talk about those movies.
I'm probably going to be watching, because I enjoyed the comic so well. It was I Kill Giants. And it's up on Hulu right now, and I want to check it out. I'm not sure how I feel about it because it was so animated in its 2D format in the comic. It was so beautiful in the comic that I'm a little uncertain about how well it'll translate to live action with CGI and stuff. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I'm going to give that one a look. And I still do need to see Incredibles 2.
Yeah. Incredibles 2.
Also, Mission Impossible comes out this weekend, doesn't it?
Mission Impossible Fallout, yeah. I want to go see that.
I really want. We've been talking about that for like the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, we really have. They've been pushing it hard.
Yeah, dude, it looks super good. They had to CG out Henry Cavill's lip for Justice League for it.
Yeah, so there's stuff coming out, and we're trying to get motivated, so we're always working on other stuff. trying to keep up with this week.
Got that Burt Reynolds goal to look forward to?
Yeah, exactly. We have Burt Reynolds on the brain, and
Bird
that
or
is our
bust.
goal.
Bird or bust.
We'll be here with you every week, and we're working on some other stuff. So you can find us on all major podcasting apps, including Stitcher, iTunes, Google
I get
Play.
concerned about you when you do that, man.
And SoundCloud, we're on YouTube. We are Mighty Fish Productions on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter at Mighty Fish Pod. You can email us at mightyfishpodcast@gmail.com. I said the wrong email address last week.
Yeah, you said movie pod, right?
I said productions, but we're mightyfishpodcast@gmail.com. That is about it. I am still Ryan.
He stole my thing. You son of a...
Sorry, I have been Ryan.
No, I'm not doing it now. I'm Josh. You ruined it. You ruined it.
And we will...
I am furious.
All right, I got to take care of this. We'll be back.
Bye.
Bye.